Hey, good morning, good evening, everyone. Today we are going to discuss about an important and interesting topic, Power App Security, question and answers. The way I'm going to structure this session is first I'll have a question followed up by a answer. Let's get started. Why is security important in Power Platform? Security is a crucial component to protect sensitive data, ensure compliance with regulations, and safeguard against any unauthorized data breaches access. Next question. What are the main security features in Power Platform? Answer. The main features include RBAC role-based access control, DLP, data loss prevention policies, environment level security, and integration with Azure Active Directory. Next question. What is RBAC in Power Platform? RBAC restrict access to resources based on the user's roles within an organization, ensuring that the users can only access the data and functionality necessary based on their role, assigned role. Next question. How does Power Platform integrate with Azure Active Directory? Answer. Azure Active Directory for authentication and authorization for purposes, Power Platform will integrate. Next question. What are the environments in Power Platform? Environments are containers for apps, data, and flow used to manage and segregate resources and security. Next question. How can you manage the environment? Administrators can create, configure, and delete environments to the Power Platform. There is a admin center, Power Platform admin center. Using that, the users who has the admin privileges can get in and control this security. Next question. What is Dataverse? Dataverse is a scalable data service and app platform within the Power App. How does Power Platform handle data encryption? Data encryption can be at rest, means when the data is saved onto the disk or during the transit using the industry standards. What is DLP policy in Power App? DLP policies can organize, define, and enforce rules that control the flow of the data, preventing sensitive information from being shared with unauthorized users. Next question. What are the authentication methods supported by the Power Platform? The supported methods include single sign-on, Azure AD, OAuth, and MFA multi-factor authentication. Next question. How does single sign-on benefit from Power Platform users? SSO allows users to log into one and gain access to multiple applications without needing to re-enter the credentials, improving the user experience. Next question. What is OAuth in the context of the Power Platform? OAuth is an open standard for access delegation used for token-based authentication to grant third-party applications to have a limited access to user resources without exposing the credentials. So OAuth is without exposing the username, password, credentials. It's a open standard based OAuth is okay. Power Platform supports it. Next question. How can multi-factor authentication be enabled in the Power Platform? It can be enabled through the Azure AD settings, requiring users to provide additional verification methods beyond the just password. This MFA can be enabled from the admin center. Next question. What is the conditional access in Power Platform? Conditional access policies in Azure controls the access to the Power Platform resources based on specific conditions such as user location, device state, or risk level. Means if there are applications, we can say that hey, these applications are accessible only in the United States or only in the Asia, or we can say that hey, it can be accessed only through the iPhone or Android devices, not from the desktop. That kind of scenarios. What is the next question? How can administrators enforce conditional access policies? Administrator can create, manage conditional access policies in Azure AD portal, applying them to Power Platform environments and apps. So Azure AD portal predominantly used. Next question. What are the security groups in Power Platform? Security groups in Azure AD are used to manage the user access to resources. As you can see, Power App security is predominantly based on the Azure AD. Now Azure AD is called Entra, Microsoft Entra. So still underline it's Azure AD. That's how we control the access or we manage the access in the Power App. Next question: how do you custom define the custom security roles that works with the Dataverse? Custom security roles define specific permissions for accessing and interacting with Dataverse data, allowing a granular control over user actions. If you have a custom application, with my experience, I feel like defining the custom roles is going to be really helpful to manage your custom application. Next question: what is the principle of least privilege in Power Platform security? The principle of least privilege ensures users have a minimum level of access necessary to perform their job function, reducing the risk of accidental actions. Next question: how can Power Platform administrators audit user activity? Answer: administrator can use Office 365 Security Compliance Center to monitor and audit user activities, tracking changes, and access Power Platform resources. Next question: how does Power Platform ensure data security? Answer: data security is enabled through encryption, access control, DLP policies, and compliance as per the industry standards. Next question: what are the data retention policies in the Power Platform? Answer: data retention policies define how long data can be retained before being deleted, helping organizations to manage data lifecycle and compliance requirement. In my experience, generally in the financial institutions like banks and credit unions or any insurance companies or investment banking community, they have 7 years of data retention policy. So we can configure this in the Power Platform Admin Center. Administrator will have the access to create this kind of a data retention policies. Next question: how can data be backed up in Power Platform? Answer: Power Platform provides automatic backups and allow administrators to perform manual backups, ensuring the data can be restored in case of data loss or corruption. Next question: what is common data model? The CDM is a standard data schema used by Dataverse, facilitating data interoperability and integration across applications. This model is a logical thing. Dataverse is a physically the actual tables and data will be there. Next question: what is data residency in Power Platform? Data residency refers to the geographical location where data resides. Means given all this, Power Platform is a cloud-based application. If the data is storing, you can specify where the data can be stored, whether the your application is used by United States or Asia or uh, you Africa or Europe. You can say that hey, the data need to reside in that specific geographical location. Next question: how are audit logs used in the Power Apps? Answer: audit logs capture detailed records for the user activities and system events, supporting security monitoring and compliance reporting for forensic analysis. Question: what is the role of compliance certification in Power Platform? Answer: compliance certification demonstrate Power Platforms adhere to industry standards and regulatory requirements, providing assurance for the organizations. Because in some of the financial institutions they require SOC 2 kind of a certification. If it is a healthcare application, they require HIPAA certification. If it is a payment card or credit card or any payment, they require PCI compliance regulatory requirements. So to just answer that question, Power Platform support different compliance mechanisms. Next question: how can organizations manage sensitive data in Power Platform? Answer: organizations can classify the data and label sensitive data by applying DLP policies, data loss prevention policies, and restrict access based on the security roles like RBAC, previously what we discussed, and conditional access. All these things can be managed through Azure AD. Now it is called as Microsoft Entra. Next, what is the Microsoft Trust Center? The Microsoft Trust Center provides information on Microsoft security, privacy and compliance practices, including details on how Power Platform meets various standards. Next question: how can developers secure Power Apps? Developers can secure Power Apps by implementing RBAC, role-based access controls, validating the user inputs using secure data sources, and followed best practices for the app development. Next question: what are connections in Power Platform? Connectors are integrations that allow Power Platform apps to connect to the external data sources and services, extending their functionality. Next question: how can connectors secure by security managed? A connector security can be managed by configuring DLP policies, data loss prevention policies, restricting connector usage, and monitoring connectors activity. Next question: what is the purpose of API management in the Power Platform? API management controls access to APIs, ensuring that only authorized users and applications can interact with the Power Platform services. Next question: how can administrators monitor Power Automate flows for security? Answer: administrator can use Power Platform Admin Center and audit logs to monitor the flow execution, track changes, and detect potential security breaches. Given the bot attacks and all those things, it's always better to be really cautious about the security and monitor very frequently. Next question: what are the custom connectors in the Power Platform? A custom connector allows developers to create their own integration with third-party services, providing additional functionality. Power Platform comes with standard connectors and premium connectors. So in some situations, if you want to access, third-party application through API without any connectors, you can develop a custom connector. Next question: how can custom connectors be secured? Answer: custom connectors can be secured using OAuth authentication, validating the inputs, and following best practices of API security. Next question: what is the role of security testing in Power Platform development? Very interesting. Security testing identifies vulnerabilities, ensures that applications are robust against potential threats, and improving overall security. With my experience, I saw in some of the organizations they are having a dedicated ethical hacking team before this application publishes or goes to production. The hackers or ethical hackers, that team goes and check that application, validate it, and do all sorts of security testing. The next question: how can developers handle sensitive data in Power Platform? Answer: developers should use encryption, minimize data exposure, apply a RBAC, and avoid storing sensitive data directly in the app. Next question: what are the environment variables in the Power Platform? Answer: environment variables store configuration data, allowing developers to manage settings securely across different environments without hard coding the values. Next question: what are the best practices for securing Power Platform environments? RBAC, role-based authentication and authorization, DLP policies, monitoring actively and proactively using secure connections, regularly reviewing the settings. Next question: how can administrators enforce security policies in the Power Platform? Answer: administrator can enforce the security policy through Admin Center, configuring the security settings and applying the DLPs and conditional access. Especially, you can lock it down based on the geographical location, number of times any user tries to log in. There are multiple mechanisms that can be used to secure the policies. Next question: what is the importance of regular security reviews? Answer: regular security reviews help identify and address potential security risks, ensuring the security measures remain effective and up to date. Next question: how can organizations educate users about Power Platform security? Answer: organization can provide training sessions, create security guidelines, and promote awareness and best practices. Next question: what is the role of governance in Power Platform security? Answer: governance ensures that the security policies and procedures are consistently applied and monitored, supporting compliance and risk management. Generally, in the organizations, from the security team, there will be always security governance. At the same point, from the Power Platform also, the administrators or architects will be involved in this security governance. Next question: How can advanced threat protection be implemented in Power Platform? Answer: advanced threat protection can be implemented using the tools like Microsoft Defender for cloud apps, monitoring for suspicious activities, and providing real-time threat intelligence. Next question: what is the role of AI in the Power Platform security? AI can enhance the security by analyzing patterns, detecting anomalies, and providing insights to proactively address the potential risks. Next question: how can Power Platform integrate with other security tools? It, Power Platform can integrate with Microsoft Sentinel, providing a comprehensive security solution and centralized monitoring. Next question: what are the challenges of maintaining security in Power Platform? Challenges include keeping up with the evolving threats, managing user access, ensuring the compliance, balancing the security with usability, and also regularly following it up with the updates and updating the Power Platform to the latest version wherever it is applicable. Next question. I think this is the last question. Thanks for tuning in. We covered 50 Power App security questions. I think rarely this kind of security questions or have this Q&A. These are really advanced concepts for architects or the senior leads of the Power Platform. Will go through this kind of Power Platform security, fine-tuning scenarios. So, thanks for tuning in. Looking forward to talk to you or see you in my next session. Bye for now.